Welcome to the Rec Room Podcast. Y'all know the drill. We got T Streets in the building early. All right. T Streets,
You
what's good?
doing all right,
Hold on,
man.
I see.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to load this music before everybody else join. Hold on. Where is that? All right. Boom. Trey,
Yeah.
what's
Yo,
good?
yo.
What up, man? Man, we in here, baby.
In the building.
We in here, bro. How y'all doing?
I'm good,
Doing well. How about yourself?
Busy, bro. Busy, but busy's good. So whenever I say I'm busy, I'm not complaining.
Hey, you know I got so the video is edited, it's done. All I gotta do is load it to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bruh,
man,
this
so.
dude E. Bruh, he ain't been answering the phone, bruh.
Hey, I've been
took a shower since last Wednesday night.
I ain't been to the gym. I ain't been doing nothing, dog. I ain't been doing nothing but consume
in the lab,
to get that
bro.
joint straight, bro. Point blank, period.
AG.
AG.
Hey, back off injured
What up?
reserve.
What up? Off the
do?
IR. Off the IR.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I got cleared. You know what I mean? Got the cortisone shots going. Got that rehab going. It's a beautiful thing.
We got
That's
the team
good.
in here.
We got the
team.
whole mob in this joint, man.
We got
As
the
we
mob,
should.
bro. Hey, listen. Check it out. Do y'all cook on Friday nights, bro?
No, I don't do it. Nah, ain't too much cooking going on Friday night.
Bruh. So I do the Chick-fil-A joint in my house, the homemade joint.
Oh, wow.
Tastes better than Chick-fil-A. I'm doing them again tomorrow night. So if y'all around my neighborhood, stop.
I mean, what you do, the burgers and the fries, or what?
No.
I mean, that burger.
I do the chicken. Yeah, so you know you have to soak the chicken in pickle juice.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yo, so you put it in pickle juice, and I like saute it. I put it in the fridge, bro. I let it sit in there. Well, I already prepped it for tonight, so it's gonna be crazy, bro.
Okay.
The kids, everybody love it, bro. I'm kind of a chef because men are the best cooks.
There you go.
Very true.
That's
There you
gonna
go.
be an
Yeah, I
upcoming
second that
show.
notion. Men are the
Okay.
best cooks.
Stop playing with me, man.
Hey,
Men are the best
everybody
cooks, bro.
relax.
It's a
Everybody
fact.
relax. This is true. Hey, hold on. Let me ask you.
Go
E,
ahead.
do you like Chick-fil-A?
Definite.
Okay. We're still good. All right,
Definite.
cool.
He did say,
Matter of
he did
fact-
say burgers.
Matter of fact, nah, man, I don't really eat burgers that much, but there's a Chick-fil-A by my job, and I go there. I won't say too much, but
No such thing, sir.
when I do eat out, for the most part, it is Chick-fil-A. I mean,
Likewise.
fast food. Put it like that.
Likewise. It's my
You know
favorite.
what I'm
Hey,
saying?
crack,
So,
bro.
other
Crack.
than that. But yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Me welcome everybody in here. Welcome to the Rec Room. This is episode number 32. We're doing a part 2 of last week's episode, which was Men Don't Talk. And we were kind of talking about the reasons why men don't communicate well sometimes in relationships and friendships, or even in marriages. And we looked at this site. I can't think of the site, but it had 26 reasons why what causes men not to talk or communicate. And those 26 reasons, we didn't get through all of them. I can't remember what we got to, but I
16.
know once I look at
It's
it.
like
again.
15, 16, something
Yeah,
like
15, 16. So we got some more to get to. And so we're going to continue that after we talk about a little bit of what's going on around the world. And the first thing is, I know everybody's been paying attention to Colorado football team. Deion Sanders is the head coach of that football team, and they played last Saturday, and they won. It was a very close game, but they pulled it out, right? But through all of that, my question is, in the play there was a hit from a guy from Colorado State. He hit. I can't think of my man.
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And people are saying that some people are saying that it was an illegal hit. He should have been put out the game. Not only should he have been put out the game, he should have been suspended. And then other people are saying that hey, it happens in football in slow motion, it looks bad, but in fast motion, it was just a football play. Do y'all think it was a dirty play, or y'all think that it was,
Yeah, that was grimy. That
you
was
think
grimy.
so?
Yeah, man. I think they were trying to send a message. It's hard nosed football, right? It's like anything in basketball. You did an extra hard foul just to like send a message. So don't try to come down here the middle. Pause. Don't try to come down the middle again because I'm gonna foul you. So it was a late hit. The gentleman, Travis Hunter, actually was injured. I think he's gonna be out. And T, correct me if I'm wrong, like 6 weeks or something.
They're
Just
saying
trying to
three. They're
three.
saying
Okay.
three, but I think it's going to be more.
Yeah, because I think it had something to do with liver. You know what I mean? So I'm like, come
Oh
on, man.
wow.
Like, and you know what? I think what speaks volumes about the gentleman's character was when he was interviewed about it, he said, no, I don't feel like it was a late hit. This is football. I don't hold anything against him. But did you see the fact that the player that hit Travis Hunter has been getting death threats and basically he's a walking
I
target
saw
right now?
that. I saw that, and Coach Prime actually spoke on that, and
Yeah.
and yeah, he gave a good message, just saying, hey man, it was a football play. That dude got living his dream playing football. Things happen, and he definitely don't deserve any death threats. But T Streets, you never mentioned if you thought that it was a dirty hit on that.
This is what I'll say. I like it. I like it on all accords, only because I think the main reason why it happened before the kickoff, I should have sent the video to the group because I just saw it today. My bad for not sending it. But there's a video out of Travis Hunter in the pregame while everybody's warming up, going over to Colorado State's team, talking smack, talking about he's standing on business, going back and forth. Fight almost breaks out. So it's like, okay, you calling them chumps, you calling them nobodies. Now, okay, you talk your talk. I love it. I love what he did. Now it's time to get physical on the field. I love the fact that Colorado State came and tried to kill him. I do. I wish it was a legal hit. I wish it was a clean hit.
Right.
It's borderline dirty. I wish it was clean because he didn't hit him in the head. It was all chest. It was just a little late. It's old school. Like that's old school football. That's the football I grew up on when I was like 5, 6. So 6 to about 13 before the rules changed.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a dirty ass play, bro. And even if like if Colorado would have did the same thing to them, I would have said the same. I would have said the same thing. The guy was defenseless. But it sucks because I was talking to T about it. It sucks because they're playing Oregon this week, and Oregon
Yep.
is their best matchup. But I mean, Travis will be back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the dope part about it is that how much viewership. I mean, bro, I stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning watching this game, bro. I ain't watched college football since 25 years ago,
Yeah,
Right.
and I
yeah,
was
I'm
and
with
I
you.
and, and I was into it, bro. They had 9.3 million people, bro, watching
Fifth
watching
wasn't
the
that the
game.
fifth highest college game?
The fifth most watched regular season game ever on the network for any time slot.
Yep.
The broadcast window for ESPN football averaged about 1.7 viewers last year. The network says so. It's off the chain. That's off
Well,
the chain.
What an impact.
Oregon, they play Oregon this weekend, right? And I
Hmm.
don't know if it's going to be a blowout,
Nah.
but I'm gonna go on record to say that I do think that Colorado is going to get their first loss on
I
I
Saturday.
think it's a
I
tough
think
one, bro.
yeah, I think so too. But you can never beat out spirit. But it isn't going to be from lack of trying. I think Oregon is just the matchup on their end. And I don't even watch college football like that, but I know that program very well.
Well,
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But look at what Dion did in such a short amount of time. Like the fact that
that's
he's
true.
to this point and he's leaving it out on the field. And they're running a very good organization, teaching these young men to be good men, and they're an example, and they're making an
definitely.
immediate impact to Colorado. I think Boulder, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? They're out of
Yeah,
Boulder.
Boulder.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, salute to them because it's all positive, man. I didn't ask
Yeah.
you, E. Did you think that was a late hit, or do you think this all fair and love and war?
I think it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In terms of was it legal? I guess it was legal because where he hit him. But I'm a little bit with T Streets. I don't believe in dirty play, but I do believe in, like, when you got a team that's 2-0 when you come in, you got to show them that you're not playing no games. And I'm not saying do illegal hitting, but
Get physical.
yeah, you know what I mean. I can
Pause.
understand that because that's the way that you beat the team. And only
Good
reason I
part.
say Oregon may win this weekend is because Shador Sanders, his offensive line is not the best, and I just saw a stat where he has to rush his throws more than a lot of quarterbacks have to. So their
Mm-hmm.
offensive line was always a question, and you can't keep. At some point, it's going to them close games are not going to go your way. But
True.
And
but
I'll
for
say this
go
on
ahead.
on paper, Oregon should blow Colorado out. It's
Yeah.
not close on paper,
Yeah.
but that's why they play the games. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
that
I
Colorado
expect
defense got to get better, bro.
definitely,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
expect
Yeah.
Oregon to
man.
blow them out though.
It's gonna
Now
be the
for some
first
NFL
test.
talk, Washington played Denver Broncos,
Hey.
right? And Washington, the Commanders. I always hate saying that name, but the Commanders, they come back from 21-3 in the second quarter, and they hold on to win 35-33. And they start the season 2-0, which is dope. Now, what I will say is that I really, I have a problem because the last years, it's tough for me to watch the Commanders play
Mhm.
because we lose a lot. It's just a lot, right? I'm not gonna get into all of it, but what I will say is when they are losing, it's tough for me to watch the game, and it looked like we were getting ready to get blown out. So when
Yes,
it
it
looked like we
is.
was going to get
Mhm.
blown out, I turned the game off. I'm tired of having that feeling. I'm tired of going through that.
There
It
you
made
Mm-hmm.
me
go.
feel like here go the same old same
Here
shit.
we go.
And then next thing I turn
Uh-huh.
and it's tied up.
Hey.
And I was like, wow. And we end up winning the game. And I think that's a statement game because those type of games in the past, we would lose every single time, point blank,
Mm-hmm.
period. Right? Am I right, T Streets?
You are definitely right. That game when it was 21-3, I think I texted the group
Yep.
and said I'm turning it off. And the only reason why I didn't turn it off is because I received a phone call right after that text. So I wasn't paying attention to it. I just had it on, talking on the phone. The next thing I know, I'm like, hold on. They look
Hey
like they
man.
want to play. So I start watching again. So
So
yeah,
what
that
did you
was a
say when they won? What did you say? Maybe we don't suck that bad.
yeah, maybe
Yeah. I
not.
mean,
Just maybe not.
Hey, I love that.
Now there was another game, and Trey, I have to do this to you.
Uh-oh.
Come on, bro.
So
Come on.
the
Uh-oh.
Bears played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? And the Bears lost 27-14. The Bears are 0-2, and
Mm-hmm.
so with that being
Well,
said, I saw what's your quarterback's name, Trey?
It
his
doesn't
name
matter
is
what the
Justin. It's
quarterback's
Justin
Oh,
name is.
Justin
Fields.
Fields, right? Now
Yeah,
Justin
bro.
Fields is I actually like Justin Fields. And they did an interview with him. I saw it on ESPN, and they asked him, why do you think you're struggling? And he basically responded and said, it's the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they
Okay,
say that
great.
that's a rule that you never do when it comes to being interviewed. You never point the finger. And then he came back after practice and tried to clean it up. But he said what he wanted to say. He's basically saying that the
True.
coaches are putting too much on his plate,
Mm-hmm.
and it's causing him to mess up. What you say, Trey?
So it's just like it's too many chefs in the kitchen, and nobody was a first timer. Meaning, the play caller, he came from Green Bay, but he had goddamn Aaron Rodgers on this damn team. So I don't even know if this motherfucker was good in the first place. Okay, because you had Aaron Rodgers. Number two, you got Eberflus that came from the defense with the Colts. They ain't never win shit, but they looked okay, so they made him the head coach. Then he bought his man, who resigned yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How you resign? You coach one game and anyway. I'm sorry. So look, health issues. I hope my man. They say he raided his house. He
Oh
said
man, the rumors was
he,
crazy.
The
the
rumor.
rumors said my man house got raided. He had to get a lawyer. The lawyer said no, they didn't. Yo,
Man,
listen,
had some
I don't.
crazier
This
stuff than
shit.
that.
This shit only happens with us. Meanwhile, my starting left tackle goes on injury reserve yesterday.
Mm.
Okay. Then I got you got 4 goddamn tornadoes happening in one damn day, and we ain't won a goddamn game yet. Okay.
Hey man.
It's
So
early,
Hey man.
man.
Keep the faith,
so
man.
but hold on. Are we going to beat Kansas City this week? Hell yeah, we're going to beat Kansas City. Play my
Them Care
music. Play my
Bears.
music, T.
Care
Play my
Bears.
music, T. We're
Hey,
going
Oh man.
to
Them
whoop
Care
Patrick Mahomes'
Bears.
ass out there, man.
that's a
Them
bold
Care
prediction.
Bears.
Now
Yeah.
the Vikings beat AG. No, the Vikings played AG's
Yeah.
team, the
Let's
Eagles.
let's back this up a little bit. You don't like that aggression.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it came out that way. Now the game was a little
Nas
close.
did.
Now
Oh,
there you
sorry.
go. There y'all go. Now the Vikings and versus the Eagles. The Vikings actually, it's I don't know. It seemed maybe the Vikings came back because I thought they were losing kind of bad at first. I don't know, but
They were.
the score ended up 34-28. The
Man.
Vikings did put up a fight after
Yeah.
the Eagles were kind of
Yeah,
winning.
that's
So,
a beautiful
you know.
thing. I look at it two ways. I think that the NFL is privy to what the Eagles do. I think it's very clear how the Eagles play, and everybody had a good amount of time to study film and know exactly what they do, because any of their little tricks is just getting cut off. Every time Jalen's about to go for a run, they're stopping him. Every time he's doing his quick passes or those long passes, they're playing the proper defense against him. I'm a fan, but they got to switch it up.
Check it out.
They still are winning one way, shape, or form. They're close games when they start taking off on them. They start doing well. And I don't know if it's their defense. I don't know if it's their O-line. Something ain't jiving right now. But the great news is, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, the great news is, you know what? It's only like what, week 3.
Week
That's
two.
it.
Yeah. So like,
Well, yeah, going to
who
week
knows?
two.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. But I will say that from what I've seen from them so far, it's like they picked up from where they left off last year, which is a good thing. But they need to throw some diversity in there. They gotta switch it up. So it's like I think that people's got their number.
So keep an eye on the Eagles and keep an eye on Kansas City, because both of those teams lost their coordinators, right?
True.
So both of the Eagles' top coordinators are coaching in different places, and so
Vikings, I
is
think.
KC. KC's OC is in Washington now.
Yep.
So
35 points a game.
Hey.
you're going to see how great Andy Reid is as a coach, because he still gets through that shit. Right?
Didn't Andy come from Philly?
Yes.
Yeah, originally. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Well, before that, San Fran. But
Before that, San Fran. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk about Philly, the connection of greatness. That
Oh
goes
my
through.
goodness. Anyway,
Okay,
moving
other
on.
news. So, in other
Continuing
news,
on.
so in other news, so have
I
y'all
love it.
noticed? Have
I
y'all
love
noticed
it.
that? I don't know. Maybe strikes happen a lot, but it just seems like lately. So on one of the pods, we were talking about the UPS and UPS strike. Or was it FedEx? I think it was UPS. Anyway,
yes.
they went on strike. And they end up getting something great came out of it because it actually worked, right?
Yep.
And they end up getting the salaries boosted and stuff like that. And then right now there's an actors and writers strike. And that's for, that's affecting actors and actresses in the film world because they're on strike because they feel like they're not getting paid enough. And so the ending of that hasn't prevailed yet because I think they're still on strike.
Yep. So the
So
writers
now,
too,
and it seems like, strikes is what you have to do in order to get something accomplished from a big company. And so now we have in CNN Business, UAW workers, they launched an unprecedented strike against all big 3 automakers. So it says United Auto Workers Union is on strike against General Motors, Ford, and some other joint. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce. The first time in its history that it has struck all 3 of America's unionized automakers at the same time. So I guess it never happens with all 3. Workers on Friday walked out of 3 plants, one each from the big 3 automakers in Missouri, Michigan, and Ohio. They were met with picketers were met with cheers, and they were waving signs. And so it says the UAW referred to its targeted strike of the 3 plants as stand-up strike, which is called strategic new approach to walking off the job. My question first is, have you all ever walked out of a job?
T has. Go ahead, T.
Have you ever went on strike and walked out?
Have I? I think I have, but I can't remember for sure.
All right.
I
So it
really
says,
can't remember for sure.
I got fired and quit at the same time.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
does that count?
fired? I'm trying to think. Have I ever been fired before?
I
Fired.
think I've
I've
been
been
fired a
laid
couple
off. I
times
never
though.
got fired
That's the
though.
same thing, dog.
Nah,
No,
it's
it's not.
different.
Nah,
No, it's not.
Nah,
sometimes
it's
it is.
different.
It certainly
Nah,
is not.
nah.
Hey,
Laid
I
off and
stand with
fired the
Sometimes,
E.
same shit.
sometimes it is.
I stand with E. No, being laid off
Nah,
when there's like,
and you right.
when,
Hey, that's situational. It depends
yeah,
on
the
who you work for.
situational.
They say
Yeah,
you laid off, but they really fired you. Some
Yeah, I was
people they
laid
kind of let
off,
you
but I
go.
was fired. Yeah, I know that too.
you know, that's a
So
beautiful thing.
with that, so it's just a lot of strikes. I guess they're going to strike. I don't know if it's going to affect cars being made,
Bro,
or not.
Eventually.
listen.
I'll say
Let me
this.
go ahead,
Go
T.
ahead.
Go ahead before,
Okay.
because I'm not. There's not going to be much left when I'm done.
There are four main points why the auto strike is happening. One is for increased wages,
Yep.
and the union wants a 40% raise over a length of 4 years. So far, the auto companies are only offering 20%.
Mm.
They also want to reinstate the cost of living protections. Back in 2007, 8, 9, I'm sorry I didn't write it down, but back during that time period, one of the auto companies, they were about to go belly up.
Mm-hmm.
And, in order to save the company, employees gave over their cost of living
Mm-hmm.
protections. And they're trying to get it back. And of course, the automakers, they don't really want to do that. Now, the third thing, they want to end the two-tier wage and benefit system. And that is basically right now, for any new employees, they're held at a lower rate, even as time goes on, with the more experienced workers doing the same job.
Mm-hmm.
And the union wants to, well, in 2019, they agreed to a 8-year progression scheme to allow for the new hires to catch up to the current employees. Now they want it to be 90 days, where the auto companies, they want to change it to a 4-year progression scheme until they can make the top dollar. And the fourth reason is they want job security
Mm-hmm.
because of the EV transition
Mm-hmm.
that's starting.
Mm-hmm.
And the union right now, the union, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really
Yep.
care. And the union wants. I mean, the automakers don't care. The union wants. They want their right to continue to strike, and in any event that a plant shuts down, they would like compensation for the workers. So these are the four main issues. I'm sure there's more, but those are the four main issues per nrp.org, in npr.org.
What was you gonna say, AG?
So everything that T said is absolutely correct. What I'm going to tell the listeners from all over the world and locally is that you're looking at a snake that got his head cut off and doesn't realize it's dead yet. And this is stuff that's taking place, that the moves that were made 5 or 10 years ago. Ford, GM, they're in trouble. On top, before this strike even happened, they weren't, and they're actually one of the earlier adopters of the EV movement. But the reality of it is they're in there too late. They're spending too much money on making these cars that are not selling or selling enough to make a profit, to turn a profit. And now with the people not making them, it's going to be a problem. So Ford and GM, I think within the next 5 or 10 years, are going to be no more. Toyota, Honda, I think they're going to have a rough time. I think the survivor of this whole thing may be Volkswagen. I think so. I think because of Dieselgate was a blessing in disguise, because they had to start getting involved in creating charge point or trying to get into the EV field. So I think the Volkswagen and that whole umbrella may live, but I think Tesla's eating everybody's food. It's just not even close.
How did I know you were gonna say that?
AG know about Tesla.
But it's the
AZ got
truth,
about 6
man.
Teslas.
Like, it's what we've been talking about. This moment's gonna happen.
His mic.
Hey, man.
He's,
Hey,
Well,
man.
hey, listen.
you gonna
He's
Don't
touch
try
talking
to
the
me
drop
out
Tesla?
of getting
a
my
Tesla
Porsche.
stock
E.
about early. So,
Okay.
hey, listen. Don't buy that. It's a devaluated
Yo,
object, man. Just go
Man,
ahead and
my
invest in
man
the
just
business.
had two.
But
Yeah,
you know,
that's
this is all
yeah,
he
connected.
said he had
Porsches.
2 what, E?
No, I'm
Listen.
saying he just had a Porsche, put all this money into it for it to
Uh-huh.
just
Mm-hmm.
the engine to blow out, and then
Yep.
he buy
Oh,
and
I
then
mean,
he got another one. But anyway, I guess that's a whole other
hey
thing.
man,
But
hey
when
man,
y'all said Porsche, that's what it made
hey
me
man. They look good.
think about.
They
I
look good.
love
They're like
them.
IG honeys. They look good, but after that, what you got? You
Right,
Okay.
got a problem, right?
Okay, AG.
right.
Okay.
We come
Now
out. I got my tank top on.
it's
Okay.
another it's another story on CNN Politics, and this is about student loan interest resumes
Yes.
Friday, and
Mm-hmm.
payments restart in October. So I don't know who got some loans out, student
Hey,
loans
look.
out. It says here's what borrowers should know. It says for the first time in more than 3 years, the federal student loan borrowers will be required to pay their monthly student loan bill starting in October. Okay, so I guess they didn't have to for a while. It says the pandemic related pause, which went into effect in March 2020, provided relief to nearly 44 million borrowers by freezing their accounts. After several extensions by both the Trump and Biden administrations, the pause will finally expire this fall as the Congress prohibited the president from extending it another time. Restarting payments at restarting all at once for so many borrowers will be an unexpected task. And it says here what borrowers need to know, right? It says, when does interest resume? Interest will start accruing again on September 1 after rates were effectively set to 0% since
Mm-hmm.
March 2020 for the federal student loans. Now, interest rates, which are fixed and vary by loan, will return to the same rate they were before the freeze. But borrowers still won't need to take any action until their first monthly payment is due. So I don't have any student loans out, but I guess to
So,
whoever does,
so, looked at my credit report yesterday, right? Now, I ain't paid a damn school loan in about 2 years since since the freeze, right? So I'm on my credit report. It says late payment, late payment. I was like, how the hell am I late when the shit was frozen? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got on the phone. I owe 2,400. Like that's my balance. I get on the phone. I get on the phone with the young lady. I'm like, listen, sweetheart. First of all, y'all have not sent me a bill. Okay, that's number one. Number two, why is this on my credit report? So of course she puts me on hold immediately, right? So she comes back. Oh, okay. What's your name again? I gave her my name again. I had two accounts. Homegirl looks at both of my accounts and she says to me, now I had about 7 questions. She says to me, "Oh, both of your account balances are zero." I said, "Excuse me." She said both of your account balances are stating zero. I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me give you my social again, right? Let me give my social." Gave her all my information over for a third time. Then I logged on to the website while she was on the phone. Man, my shit says zero. I said, listen, now that I need that in writing. Can you send that to me in writing, like with words on it, like with my name and zero? And so, bruh,
Yep.
my shit was wiped out, bro. My shit was taken
Biden.
care of, bro.
oh wow,
Biden hooked you
that's
up.
My
bizarre,
Hey,
man
man.
I
said,
guess
bro,
we know who
2,500.
Trey gonna vote for right now.
You dig?
That's bizarre.
2,500, bro, off the books,
Now
bro.
I got a quick little, just a little quick entertainment jump before we get into the topic that I just wanted to
Hmm.
touch on. And this is Remy Ma. For those who don't know,
Hmm.
Remy
Oh
Ma
shit.
is a female rap artist, and she's married to another rap artist, a guy named Papoose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let T break it down a little bit because I'm seeing that Remy Ma was either she hosted a battle rap
Mm-hmm.
or she was part of it, and then the person who was battle rapping, I don't know. T, can you explain what was going on with that?
Yes, Remy Ma has a battle rap league, and over the weekend, Geechee Gotti versus Easy the Block Captain. They had their square off, and during the third round, Geechee decided to dedicate half of the round, if not the whole thing. I can't remember, but he decided to dedicate a lot of it to Remy. Now, background on why he decided to attack Remy. Back in June of this year, at another rap battle event that she hosted, or it's her league, there's rumors of a fight that took place where her husband Papoose put hands and feet on Easy the Block Captain because the internet are buzzing saying that Pat found out about Remy and Easy. Remy's cheating on the brother, which I have a big problem with. So fast forward to over the weekend, Geechee, he goes in. I wish we had some audio to play a snippet, but he goes in on Remy about her dealings and how Pat held her down and you're going to do this type of stuff. Goes in on Easy and, big hurrah, hurrah. The crowd, they were in Philly. The crowd turned on Easy. And, they was going with my man Geechee.
Now, Remy has denied the rumor of her cheating on Papoose. She's saying that that's not true. Papoose has not. He hasn't said anything. But I don't know if it's true. If it's not true, if it is true, I think that's would be messed up because and we not in their lives or nothing, but it seemed like he really held her down while she was locked up for those 6 years. And I don't know no guys that would do that. I don't even know if they was married then or maybe they were. I don't know. But she was locked up for 6 years for shooting another female. And he was, seemed like he was really there for her like that. So, I mean, it's not good for anybody to get cheated on, but that would be real messy and messed up if that is actually true.
So if she was the if she's the breadwinner, right?
She
And
can
she
do what she
holding
wants.
down. No. I'm asking the group.
How do we know
y'all
she's the
try?
breadwinner
Would
though?
y'all?
Right. Yeah.
Because
'Cause-
let's be hypothetical, T. Right? Let's be hypothetical and say she's the breadwinner, right? Remy with Joe. Remy does her thing. Now, Pat, I love me some Pat. That's my man. But let's just say that Remy is bringing in a nice amount from the rap battle league and all that stuff. Would y'all be? Would you think twice about the consequences of you ending it, or by him not being there? Do you think that he solidified? He knows something's going on. That's why he didn't even show up. What do y'all think about that? Would y'all leave? Would y'all walk out, or would you try to work it out?
I mean, I think he's taking the high road by not speaking on it. And you're asking me if that was me. Are you asking if it was me
Yeah.
and
If
it
it
was
was you,
true and it happened?
and it was,
If
and it
it,
was, yeah,
okay, so if that was me, if I was Papoose, and let's just say we don't know if it's true, but let's say it is true, and I was with somebody who was locked up for 6 years, and in those 6 years I never slept with another female, and I held her down. I held my person down and was going to visit her and doing everything that I could for her. And then we get home and then she cheats. It's not always about, so it's layers to it. Okay, you cheated. How many times did you cheat? And me, I need to know what happened when you cheated. What is cheating? I mean, did you give him head? I mean, like, I need to know everything. And after that, I need to know it all. You know what I mean? And after that happens, for me to hold somebody down and then for that to happen, and I've been, faithful in my relationship or whatever, that would be tough for me to come back from. It really would, especially because we're public figures.
yeah,
And
bro.
now it's out there, and now to the point where it's in a rap battle. You know how embarrassing that is as a man
Yeah,
or
bro.
as a person to hear that. And I mean, that's a lot to deal with. If it was true, I don't know if I could stick in there, man. I don't know. And if I did stick in there, I'm gonna be honest, I would be very immature and petty, and I'm gonna have to start smashing me a lot of Jones off.
You
So
gonna you gonna
Hey,
okay,
yeah,
as you
okay,
should.
yeah.
okay. Speaking of that, has anybody seen the Bongos video?
Oh
Pretty
shit.
awesome. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, E. My bad, E.
No, that was it. That's. I mean, if I was in that position, that's how. That's what I think
Yeah,
would
the
happen.
Bongos.
You know what I
Bongos.
mean? So, but I don't know if it's true or not. You know what I mean? Who knows? But That's what they saying. So
Let's keep it moving.
anyway, we can let's go ahead and get into the topic tonight, man. And the topic tonight is what I said earlier for those who may have joined in a little later. Last This is part 2 of a part 1 that was last week where we discussed the reasons why men don't communicate well in relationships, friendships, marriages, etc. Right? And we went through we used this site called Turning the Page, that something I don't know, called Turning the Page. And on that site, Turning the Page, they had 26 reasons why men don't talk, their reasons. And we went through a lot of the reasons. Some of them would really seem like they didn't apply, but a lot of them did. And I think we got up to number 15 or 16, and we just going to pick up from there. And so if you want to listen to, catch what we were talking about in the last part, you know how I always say the pods are available everywhere. But
Hmm.
to keep it moving, I think we were on. It says so we're doing 26 reasons why men don't speak up. Number 13 is what it says. They have repeatedly told, harden up. We did that one. 14, absolutely, we did that. Fear of the other dependence. So I think we on. They're not sure what happened if they open up. No, so we on 17. I think we did get to 16. So I'm gonna start with 17. And 17, it says that they have been open before, thinking it was confidential, and then they found out what they shared was shared with others. Now there is an inability to trust anyone with deep stuff. And so, with that being said, do you all have you all ever been in a situation where you've shared something deep with the person, and then come to find out that they told somebody else, but you told them not to? And if that did happen, did that make you not want to? Did that make you want to be less of a person to communicate?
Y'all go.
I've had it happen before in friendships. Uh, have in a relate, not really. Yeah, mainly friendships or situationships. I've had it happen before, and yeah, I felt that way where I didn't want to share anything serious again.
What about you, Ag?
I mean, definitely. What happened in the past, especially when dealing with relationships and teenagers, you find out that people talk, especially women.
Mm-hmm.
Women talk a lot, and what a lot of times
Damn.
men will talk to a lady and confide on a lady they hardly know because it's a lady, and then they don't realize that everybody talks, and that's not the best thing for you if you're trying to keep a secret. So my whole thing is, the best way to keep a secret is tell no one. If you don't want anybody to know what you're
Right.
doing, you know what I mean. But
Right.
at the same time, in this day and age, there are no secrets. I mean, everybody finds out everything at one point, strangely enough. So I don't bug, but
What do you think that when you can think back to that happened? What do
yeah.
you think that you took the vibe of keeping it moving, or
Oh
did
my
or did
goodness.
you tell yourself like, you know what, I ain't telling nobody nothing no more? Like,
The second one, it's like, damn, people run their mouth, man. They need to, watch TV or something if they're bored. But yeah, like that definitely closed me up because,
nah,
and
I got
also
you.
whenever we share something, it's almost weakness, right? Like you confide on someone, hey, this, and then they just take that power from you when they just start running their mouth and telling everybody.
Very
Mm,
true.
that's a
Trey, who
that's
you
a
didn't spill
that's
the beans to, and they didn't
bruh.
tell your business, bro?
Bruh. First of all, let me go back to what AG was talking about. I think men talk just as much as women talk, to be honest with you.
Now
As
they
far
do.
as with the
Now they do.
gossiping,
Now they do.
like with the gossiping, right?
True.
Um, I think that it depends on, okay, me personally, I'm not going to tell you anything that can affect me if you tell somebody else, right? So w- we're close, but it's still a lot that I haven't told you because I don't think that me telling you you can't help me with that situation, right? And then also, you're gonna know if that person is chatty patty just off a basic conversation, right? If something comes back to you from somebody else, you're like, okay. Now, it depends on the relationship that you already have with that person, where you can go to that person and be like, bro, I told you that in confidence. It depends on what it is. It
True.
depends on what it is. It depends on what the words are, right? Now, if it's hate, if it's disdain, if it's something like dog, like you couldn't just come talk to me about that, right? It depends on how close that relationship is with that person. What did you tell that person, right? And then who comes and brings it back to you. So everybody still talks, but without it being demeaning, or you trying, you know what I mean? Like, conversation is conversation, but things that people hold in confidence, you know what those things should be. But some people, they don't see it like that. Some people just like the gossip because they themselves don't have anything going on. So you just gotta watch who you giving this information to.
So what I've
Off the
learned
break.
is that I've learned that in sharing certain things with certain people, I have learned that people will tell your business, but I also have learned that you can't share everything with everybody. And I learned that with I learned that with being sometime being married, right? So
There you go.
in
See,
communicating,
see,
if sometimes, and I'm just using marriage as an example.
yep,
Now, you can get good advice from anybody at any time, right? And just because a person is not in your situation doesn't mean that they can't give you good advice. But I learned with being married that when I talk about marital issues, that I'd rather talk to a person who is married or who has
There you
been
go.
married, because I learned that when sometimes when a person isn't, they don't really see it. They can't really see what you're saying, and
There you
then
go.
anybody can give you solid advice on basic things. But sometimes if a person has not been in that situation before, they really can't give the advice that you may be looking for, or they don't understand, or they can't view it the way that you're viewing it. So I didn't learn necessarily don't tell anybody anything, but you have to be careful of who you speak to about certain subjects. That's what I'll say about that, right?
Yeah.
And so to move to number 18, it says years and years of receiving messages of being encouraged to have a stiffer lip, that boys mustn't cry, real
Hmm.
men are tough enough, are tough men. I don't know about the verbiage. Let me read that again. It says,
yeah,
years
yeah,
and
yeah.
years of receiving messages of being encouraged to have a stiffer lip, that boys mustn't cry, real men are tough men.
That's
I
the
don't know
man up.
about you. I don't know about me years and years receiving that type of message about men are men and don't talk. I don't think that was the message in my family about not talking. I don't remember having conversations that way.
Okay.
What about you guys?
What you got, AG?
I mean, I came up during the era that you never show weakness, you never talk about your problems, you never talk about, I don't feel good, or this is bothering me. You just kind of weather through it. I think that's why we always, during that time period, we're full of jokes and try to get through it in our best way possible. But looking back, I think we would have benefited talking, getting it out there, because when you talk, depending on who you're talking with, they may have gone through it already, or they may be going through it as well, and now you don't feel like you're the only one in the world going through it. But again, at
Hmm.
that time, the culture was, you don't tell people your business, and you just kind of, like it's like the article says, you keep a stiff upper lip and just keep it pushing. What about you, T?
Yeah, I have the same sentiments as you. Just change the verbiage on here. Like you said, don't share your feelings, don't show weakness, all of this. That's just something that happens to a lot of young boys. So as we grow up, we lack the communication skills, especially with a partner.
That's a
Right,
great point.
Especially
right.
with a partner, we lack it with a partner to be able to be vulnerable. So it plays into it. Just got to change the verbiage up.
No, for sure. So number 20 is learning at an early age. No, I'm sorry. Number 19, being told as a child that you're a failure,
Oof,
useless, you're a parasite, you
damn.
know nothing, and then as an adult hearing the messages echo back to you. So for me, I can't relate to that because I was never told that. Thank goodness, growing up, I was never. Life was always spoken into me. Positivity was always spoken into me, and
Hmm.
I wasn't told by anybody that I was a failure or useless. So I can't relate to that one.
Now, I can't relate to this verbiage, but I can relate to the sentiment. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The message that was said to me, which was rarely said, but it stuck out, and I always kept it, was that you're going to be like your father.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Likewise.
And
Yep.
even though it was said like literally maybe a handful of times throughout my childhood, my childhood through even young adulthood, just a handful of times I heard that, but it stuck out enough to where whenever I'm at a point where I'm at a low, that comes into my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm.
gonna be like my father.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard those things. You know, not necessarily those exact words, but
Close to
the
it.
same feeling. Like you're not gonna end up doing anything. You're gonna do this. You How are you gonna progress? You're gonna be bum. I can't depend on you. Stuff like that. You know. But it's funny because I'll tell you, God is great, right? Anybody who's ever told me that back then or even now, like it would affect me when I heard it back then. Now it's just fuel. You know, like
True.
I always like to do this comparison thing with me. You know, I'm a competitive person, but I'm like, oh, look at them and look at me and let's talk about it. You know,
True.
what do your eyes tell you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, we can go further into it, but that kind of also tells you, you know, you can't let people have that much control over you, man. But it's hard when you're getting that from parents or older siblings or whomever, right?
Absolutely.
It's just tough. But it took me a while to realize that what they were saying was not true.
Trey, was that ever told to you, or not really? That's not relatable for you.
Um, it was a lot of strife. It was a lot of stress, right? I would say that my growing up, my environment, it was very, very stressful, right? A lot of instability up to a certain point. So it did affect me mentally where I was not open really with anyone, right? I was kind of insecure about my father's situation. Having an older sister, us just going through it, man. You know what I mean? Just
But you
evictions
weren't really
and
told. Were
shit like
you
that. But as far as the verbiage from the stress, yeah, yeah, like you would hear things. You see what I'm
okay?
saying? Yeah. So yeah, meaning just setting the scene from the actual environment that would cause words to come out, words to be used. You getting cussed out as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So, but luckily, man, I had two pillars, in my life, man, my uncle and my cousin. But they were super strong on me too, because they saw the way I was going. So their language was strong, but they were speaking life into me, right? And for me to open up to them, it was tough. But once I did, I understood that they were there to try to push me to that next level. But what I do, but just like AG said, I definitely, man, everything I use everything for fuel. I just keep pushing myself, man. When I'm coaching kids, I'm so careful with my words. I
Mm-hmm.
was just on the field 2 hours ago,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
I'm so careful with how I speak to these kids, and I make sure that I'm speaking life into them. A lot of
Yeah,
them are
man.
coming from single parent homes. One of my kids has ADHD, excuse me. So it's really important, man. Like they see you as that mentor. So and I definitely appreciate that, man. So everything that I've been through, I just flip it. So I become the person that I needed when I was that age. You know what
No,
I'm
that's
saying?
dope.
Yeah.
So number 20 is learning. I got a bug in my basement. I can't tell what kind of bug it is. I want to kill it, but
Uh-oh.
I want to
It's a
keep doing the pod. I don't
it's
know
a
if it's a
Go
spider. I
ahead, bro.
don't. I don't know what the fuck it is.
You're
But
not
all
scared
right.
of it, is it
So
though, bro?
I ain't scared of it. I'm very. I'm very
As
stomp it.
long as
But
it's not no
Hey,
mouse. As long as it's not no
no, it ain't
mouse,
a
bro.
mouse, but it's
Okay,
irritating
so
me because it's
if it was
crawling.
a mouse, bro,
only in the rec
I'm
room
gonna
would you
have to
get the
get off the
play-by-play of
pot.
E
I'm gonna get
stomping
off
out
the
Yeah, it's
pot.
like while I'm
a
talking,
spider.
while I'm talking, the joint crawling on the carpet. But
This is
anyway,
It's good luck,
hilarious.
bro.
number 20 is learning at an early age to shut your mouth and roll with the punches.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, now I can
I think
relate to
that's
that.
everybody on
Cause
here.
yeah, cause you know my mother wasn't playing with no talk about what's going on and shit. You just gonna deal with it.
That's
You
what
gonna
it is.
stay. You gonna stay in the child's place, and that's how it's gonna
Right.
rock out. So yeah, I did learn
Yeah.
that at an early age.
Yeah, I learned how to roll with the punches, but the shutting my mouth part, that was not me.
I'm
You
shocked by
know.
that, T.
No, no. I got plenty of whoopings, plenty of smacks
Yeah.
because I don't shut up. It just doesn't happen. If I have a opinion about something, I'm gonna give it.
So even
And
back then, T Streets, you
even
always
back
been like
then,
that,
I've
huh?
Yeah.
always been like that. That's why I'm like that
Beautiful.
now
That's
still.
beautiful.
Because I'm like, hey, what you gonna do?
It stops hurting after a little while.
Right.
That's
Bruh.
And
hilarious.
so that was so everybody did the learning with the everybody did the
Absolutely.
learning with that. So
Yeah.
21 is terrified of rejection. Should others see what's really going on inside? So it says men don't communicate. A reason that men don't communicate is because they're terrified of rejection. Should others see what's really going on inside? Now, only time that I've been feel afraid of rejection is when maybe I'm trying to talk to a female.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the only time I can think of the word rejection. I've never been scared to not get a job and all that type of stuff or whatever, you know, other stuff. But yes, I don't like rejection. I didn't like rejection. I don't know if anybody does. When you're approaching a female or whatever, I was the type of person that if when I was hanging out, if I try to book two girls or get two females numbers and I got turned down by two, that was the end of the night for me.
That
There
was
you
the end
go.
of
If
the
I
night.
if I was
So
0 for
did you try
2,
to do it at the same time, or did you?
no, not
Yeah,
at the
right?
same
Like,
time, but you know what I'm
what you
saying? Like you go to
expect?
one and then, you know, they say they like, nah, whatever, you go to another one. Once I was 0 for
Nah.
2, I felt like it wasn't my night.
Nah.
So that's the only rejection that, you know, that's the only rejection that I can think about. But you know,
This is
but
lovely.
have y'all been told well, are y'all scared of rejection? And does that make you all not communicate because you don't want to be rejected?
Go
Huh.
ahead, T.
I won't. I guess you could consider it rejection, but I don't. If I when I do, when I'm thinking about sharing something that I'm keeping inside, if I feel like someone's going to just try to blow me off or just tell me that that's not important or whatever, anything like that, then maybe some not really fear, but some doubt of whether I should just keep this to myself or not will come into play.
I got you.
What you think, AG?
Man, listen. I think I stopped caring when I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenager for rejection, because once you kind of lose everything, you're like, you got nothing else to lose, and you start becoming secure with yourself. And I came to the conclusion it's not rejection because I'm not gaining anything that I didn't have before. Like if they weren't like,
It's a
let's say
mindset.
with you, E, if I didn't have the phone number before, I'm still didn't get the number, so it's not like I lost anything. And I always knew, and I mean, come on, you gotta give people a reason to say no, just like you gotta give them a reason to say yes. So I think I put my mind power into trying to get the yes instead of being like concerned about getting a no or I can't do that. I'll be like, oh, what would I need to do to get the yes? And I, like, again, it's just that putting it through a different lens and that mind shift. And I apply it to my life. That's why, like, every time we would go out, I'm talking to everybody because I'm not scared. You know what I mean? And I don't got anything to lose.
Yeah, you
But
really say you are social, AG.
hey, man,
Yeah,
everybody
You
he's
out
loves me.
when
And I
you
love
out and about,
everybody.
man.
he been like that since he was like what,
Yeah.
16?
Yeah, that was right around
16,
that time,
when I
Trey. Like,
first, bro,
yeah.
AG the same. He's the same person since he was 16, bro.
So
Super confidence. And with me, hell no, because my confidence level, or call it whatever you. Nah, the rejection thing is nah. That's not in my
well,
vocabulary,
you know
bro.
what? The what I'll say is with me saying that I'm super highly confident, but but I don't know
Nah, I
anybody
got you.
who likes rejection though.
Hell no, hell no,
I mean,
hell
I
no.
don't know
Tell
anyone
me
like
I
no.
that.
play that shit off. I play that
Tell
shit off.
me
I ain't even
no.
gonna relate. I'm
Shit.
gonna play that shit off real smooth.
N-
You know what
Now,
I mean?
are y'all just talking about as far as talking to a female? Because that's not what my
No, and
answer was
No, I'm
about.
everything.
talking
And
about
Okay,
everything.
overall. It's
And
just
Yeah,
that
I'm
everything.
talking about
it's
Yeah.
just
overall.
that's
Yeah.
the only thing I related to because that's the only thing that I've have felt the
Right.
way
No, I
about
got you.
or something
I
like
Hey,
that when
got
it
you.
comes to rejection.
E
I
wears
don't.
his
Okay.
heart on his sleeve.
Nah, you know,
What I
He's emotional. He's
think, what I,
sensitive.
not at
what I
all.
think, what I think, what that question was going to was like, a man trying to divulge his feelings maybe as a young kid or maybe as
Hmm.
like a teenager to somebody and feeling that once they open up that they might get rejected. I that did happen to me. Like when I was younger, right? The insecurity, that shit would just make you think like nobody can relate to me,
Hmm.
right? Like like
Right.
like
Hmm.
you know, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like your mind starts to trick you and make you think that. But in essence, all you got to do is just keep moving and just whatever it is, you have to have a goal. That's the biggest thing, man, with like younger kids, man. If your family life is messed up, you think that is your world. You depend on these people, and these people are not reliable, right? But that's the great thing about we were talking about with Dion. Dion grew up in a fatherless home. His coaches were his dads,
Hmm.
right? So these mentors help to pull things out of you that you didn't even know that you had. It could be your friends, it could be a whatever it is, books. So I would just encourage you, man, just to like look, if you in that space, just find something and just develop tools to try to get out of those dark places when they come, because they still gonna come. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Now you know number 22 is a good one.
Mm,
So number 22 is a reason why they say men don't communicate well is because they don't want to be a burden on their loved ones.
True.
Ding, 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 ding,
And I
ding.
That's
think
it.
that's a great one
That's it.
because and I believe that's actually out of all these, that's probably one of the best ones because and this may not even be a man thing, it could be just a human thing where you don't want to, you may have something going on, but you want to stay strong about it. And if you feel like you communicate everything that you feeling, that you become a burden on someone. And I think that's very true. I think that could apply to anybody. What y'all think? Not just
Yeah.
Exactly.
women.
Exactly.
Exactly. It can apply to anybody. And like I experienced this now, like over the past 5 years, dealing with my accident and my recovery, and especially in the beginning when I was at my worst. Most people, when they ask me how I am, I'm okay. I don't, I don't want to burden them with my feelings because I know at some point after the shock of T almost died,
mm,
after he's going to be all right. After a while, people got to get back to their lives. They're not going to be 100% worried about you when they know that you're fine as far as moving on with your life. The other stuff, I didn't want to be a burden to anyone because at some point, it's tiring. It's taxing to hear from somebody when they're going through something. And if you're the one that's always there to pick up the phone or listen to their feelings, it takes a lot to not get into the mode of, man, you need to stop bitching. It takes a lot to not go there. I've gone there with some friends before. And then once I do it, I have to catch myself and apologize for that in the moment. But, I won't let it linger because I know how it feels. I know how it feels to when I even the few people that I did talk to in the beginning, how they will belittle my feelings. And it's like, come on now. You wanted me to open up. Okay, I chose to open up. And now you're gonna belittle my feelings. You're
mm.
gonna make it seem like, okay, nigga, you alive. Stop bitching.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
that'll make
know,
you shut down. That either make you shut
Yeah.
down or
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Or
or,
get
or,
angry.
or
Or
get
go
angry. One
off.
of the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Or
Shut
both.
down or turn
Right,
up.
right.
Mm.
So that was I don't know if y'all had anything else, but that was what number was that? That was 22.
Hmm.
And so
I
number
dealt with
20.
that. I dealt
Okay,
with
go
that.
ahead.
Not to cut you off, E.
No, you good.
I dealt with that in my, I would say, in my early teen years, bro. I dealt with just that question. With moving in, like moving from where I was, to Alexandria, based off of my living situation, right? And so I did feel like a burden with moving in to my father's spot. And that same feeling,
Did
I could
did that
always
make
go
you
ahead.
not want to communicate though? Like feeling like that. Did it make you? Did it put you in the shutdown? I'm not talking to nobody mode, or it
It
didn't
made
affect that part?
it made me into what I had to be to make that situation work, right? So I was kind of numb and kind of cold to it, but it was a stable place for me, right? Um, I just felt like whatever part I needed to play to stay where I was staying until I graduated, I did that. But I like things were said to me while I was there that would make me stay in that shell and not say things because I kind of understood what my environment was. And I'm the new kid here, right? So I kind of just shut down on purpose. But once I graduated and I got out of there, I never came back. But that place was a blessing for me when I needed it to be. So I'm not going to sit here and act like it was a negative thing, but I did feel like I was, not really a part of that situation,
I
right?
got
And,
you.
but I did what I had to do. You see what I'm saying?
I got you. You had anything, AG, or you ready for me to go to the next one?
No, I think my brothers did a great job.
All right.
Go ahead.
So number 23 is guilt and shame for both real and perceived failings. So they saying men don't communicate because of guilt and shame for both real and perceived failings. Oh, okay. So I guess if you trying to achieve something in life and you don't,
Mm,
it doesn't happen and you feel guilty and ashamed about it,
okay.
maybe that makes you a person who doesn't communicate that much. I'm
Okay.
trying
I
to
was
think
there.
about. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I can understand that one. Go ahead, T Street.
Yeah, I was there. Trey, when I bring it up, Trey should remember when
Uh oh.
I lost my office job. When I lost my office job
Okay.
right before the recession hit, and I was unemployed for like a year and a half. Just losing the job, I was already ashamed right there. You fast forward after a year and a half, when I go flat broke, then it gets even worse. Like I shut down. I stopped talking to all of y'all. Stopped talking to everybody. Stopped coming around, and it took some time before I would come around. I remember having a conversation with weekend at Junior's. Went over to his apartment, the trap as it was nicknamed. Went over
Trap.
there and we was having a conversation, and he was like, "Man, why you don't come around?" I was like, "Man, listen, man, I'm in a place and I don't want to bring everybody else down." And he was mad. He was like, "Man, just because you're not at your best right now, don't mean that you don't have to come around us. We supposed to be boys. You can come talk, chill, even when you're going through it, or if everything's good." So yeah, I've been in that situation where I just felt I just felt like people looked at me as a failure in that moment, even though, it is what it is. People lose their job. It was the fact that I didn't understand what a recession meant, and we were right headed into it. And the fact that I was getting denied for every job I applied for, it was hard. It was very difficult for me, and that was truly the hardest time in my life. This accident, going through all of that, that's the second hardest time ever. That just losing a job, going flat broke, feeling like a loser, starting to hear "you're like your father" again. That was probably like the seventh time I heard it
Oh,
during that year and a half where I was unemployed. It was a lot. It was a lot for me, and I shut down.
And Trey, I ain't want to cut you off. Was you about to say something?
no, 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 bro. I that that used to burn me up. Like you like your father shit, like that
Mm-hmm.
right there, bro. You talk about fire.
Yep.
You
Yep.
talking about fire. But now, like in my older years, bro, all that shit that I felt back then, like I use it, like we said, like as far as everything that I was back then, I'm the total opposite now. Like I'm super outgoing. Like I'm super outgoing with business or just with socializing. I try to turn everything into something positive, right? And so, but I don't know if I be this person without those type of situations. So that's all I really wanted to add to that question.
Okay. And so number 24 says, so we almost at all 26. Number 24 says men don't communicate because of a lifetime of negative self-talk.
Mm,
So they saying that men don't some men shut down from communicating because they down talk themselves all through their life, and then that makes them, I guess, them become reclusive and quiet.
mm,
That's not my experience. I'm the
mm,
total opposite, but
right.
I guess that can relate to some people. So 25 is some men don't communicate because repeated messages from society and media devaluing the role of men. I can't relate to that one either because I'm definitely not gonna let no no
Right.
outside forces
Right.
determine what I feel about myself. So I don't know who
Right.
if anybody goes through that.
And
That's kind of
that's the power of media.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's in the Constitution. Because if I can sway just a couple million of y'all, I can get things done. So unfortunately, people's daily thought process is based off of what they read on CNN, how they feel about blacks, all kind of
well.
negative thoughts. And they go off of that.
Well, I tell
Unfortunately.
you what, if you're a person that lets the media or
Hmm.
society devalue you, and because of that makes you feel less of a man and not communicate, then you need some deeper help. Than
True.
because
That's a good point.
that's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that ain't normal.
Yeah.
I
And
think I could
so,
relate to it though. I think I could relate to it when I was a kid. When I
Okay.
was a kid and just seeing how society put, white people were like the kings of everything. And then even with looking at like the beauty, fashion, it was always some slim white dude.
Mm-hmm.
And, being bigger, it was just that used to play on me, especially as a kid. Did it happen as an adult? I'm sure it did, but for the most part, I can easily push through that now. Like even as a 20-year old, as an 18-year old, I as a 16-year old, I was starting to push through that. I'm overweight. Okay, all you can say about me, I'm overweight. All right, great, cool. I'm overweight. I can still I can still do some of the things that just about anybody else can do. So I never had any problem with women. So that right there was confidence enough.
He had to add that shit in, huh?
yeah, let them know, T Streets. Now, number 26 is the last one out of this list, and it says men don't communicate because men being uncertain about who they are and their purpose, a confusion that leads to being stuck in a no man's land. So they saying if you don't know who you are as a person and you don't know your purpose in life, I guess that makes you shut down and don't talk to anybody. That's another one that me personally, I can't relate to. I've always been sure of myself.
Mm,
Um, and I've always felt like I do have a purpose in life beyond going to work every day.
right.
So that doesn't relate to me, but I'm sure it relates to some men out there. Does it relate to any of you all?
AJ, how you feel, AJ?
Nah, it does not at all. But I mean, hey man, everybody's different, but definitely not over here.
It really depends on who you are as a person, and it depends on who your circle is,
True.
right? If you're around a bunch of people whose self confidence is low, and you guys hang out a lot, that shit is gonna affect you.
For sure.
That's gonna affect your
Yeah.
worldview, right? And so if you around your people that you're used to hanging around, but you're feeling that your thoughts are different than theirs, then that might be like a cue, you know. That
Right.
might be a cue. You know what I'm saying? Just to try to find a new group, or just get into what you think you feel that your purpose is, whatever that is. You know, just take that route. But don't be conscious of the issue and stay
Right.
in the issue.
Right.
That's
No,
what the
very
problem
true.
is. You
One
feel what
thing
I'm
I also
saying?
see is generational, because a lot of these things, yeah, they're dead on, and a lot of these things are nowhere close. I don't think that applies to us, because it seems like all of us kind of agree, now that doesn't apply to me. It didn't happen to me, or when it did happen to me, this is how I dealt with it. It never brought us down. But I
Right.
think that this generation, like the teenagers now and young
Right.
adults like in their 20s, I think it's the opposite. I think the the scarring stuff that happened to us is not happening to them. But on the flip side, what's interesting is what I'm seeing is that, yeah, you might not have gotten the negative talk or, the trust issues, but it's interesting how these other things are affecting you when we never let it get us down. So I just think that dynamic is real interesting.
It
And
is.
and and like the suicide rates now
Right.
are through the roof. Like that's like another pod. But everything that we're talking about now, like in the last like 12 questions, like people really don't see solutions. They
Nope.
only see their problems. Like a lot of them, excuse me, a lot of them. But what it leads to is it leads to people taking themselves up out of here. Like the rates are crazy when you dig into them, and people like not leaving notes, so you don't know why, but this person got fired. This
Hmm.
person was detached from us for a couple weeks. So it's different reasons, but just like AG was saying, like this particular generation is really taking a hold on them in a negative way, unfortunately.
Well, to tie a bow on all of it, I would say this: for men, women, period, communication is important. And there's nothing wrong with being a person who communicates. Communicate. You need to be, whether it's in your job, whether it's in a
That's true.
friendship, whether it's in a relationship. People need to know how you feel and where you stand. When you communicate, you can get through a lot of things in life. But when you don't talk and you shut down and you keep your feelings to yourself, then a lot of negative things can grow and fester in that. So I believe communication is the key in all aspects of life, in every friendship, in every relationship, and in every marriage. If you put communication at the forefront, you have a great chance of being successful.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about that.
Agreed. Peace,
Hey,
everybody.
hey,
Run them
check
down,
it out,
Trey.
bruh. I don't know if we on like HBO, Cinemax, Fox 5, YouTube. We got a packed house in here tonight. E. I don't know what you doing with the
I
with the
saw
marketing
that.
with the marketing budget, bro.
I
I
don't
don't know
know
what's
what's
up.
going on, man.
So look, first of all, somebody about to make me mad off the break. Somebody HWSAUUHU. Look, spell your damn name. Stop playing with me. Nah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being in. We have Ibranke Babatunde in the house. What's up? What's up, man? What's up, man? We appreciate you. We got PBAC JWRU. See what I'm saying? Stop playing with me, y'all. They in here with us tonight. We got Pretty Rez. What's up, Pretty Rez? About time. You was a little late though, but you here. Okay. We got the first lady in the rec room. We got Miss Donnie. Miss
Donnie.
What's
Donnie
up,
Hey.
is
Donnie? What's good?
Donnie is in the house. She all in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We got our man Millie. We got our man Millie in here with us.
Mac Millie.
Friend of the show.
What's up, Millie?
Millie in here. We got my man Steven. What's going on, Steven? Thanks for being on the show, man. Thanks for listening in. We got Love _ How you doing? She in here every week. She in here every week with us.
weekend.
We got
I'm gonna get her a
GMH in the house.
Starbucks
Yeah.
coupon, man.
Yeah,
Go
man.
ahead.
We got she competing with Pretty Red for the Starbucks
All
giveaway.
right.
Okay. We have I said what's up to GMH. We still in here. We have Coco Melon. What's up, Coco? I think I know who Coco Melon is. We got MUYP up in the studio with us. What's up with you? We got UKD in here with us. We got a friend of the show. We got my man Darius in the studio with us tonight. Darius, the author, the fantastic author.
What up? What up?
All right, we got Tyreek in here. No one is past his damn bedtime. I don't know why he acting like he grown tonight.
Reek dog.
We got Reek up in here. We got my man Big Richard in here with us tonight. What's up, Rich? Appreciate you, bro. We got friend of the show every week. Dope being here with us every single week, like everybody else. Okay, we still packed in here. We still running it down. Give me 1 second there. I already shouted out. Oh, we got my man Paul. My man name is Paul Made by God. Paul Made by God is in the studio.
Paul? Appreciate
we got Ladybug. Ladybug, what's up, Ladybug? We appreciate you. We got Gigi in the studio with us tonight. What's up, Gigi? We appreciate you, man. That's where we at. We back in here, man.
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone who is listening, who will listen. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I always say, it's a dope pod. You can catch the Podbean pod on any place that you listen to podcasts. Google Pod. I still need to get on Apple Pod, Spotify, all those places. Now, every week I always say that, we're going to be doing the live pod, the in-person pod. Well, guess what? We already did it. So we actually completed the first in-person pod. The only thing I have to do is upload it to YouTube, which I'm going to do tomorrow. I will advertise it on our Instagram page. Please follow us at the Rec Room Pod on Instagram. On there is our YouTube page, the link to our YouTube page. Subscribe. I can't wait to upload the first in-person episode. So follow the IG, and then I'll put the link up there for you all. Thank you all again, and we see you all next week.
Peace.